All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 3.
Hello.
This is a big step for us. We've done the third episode. It's only a day late.
My fault. That's probably on my. Not probably. That is my fault. That's my bad. Sorry. I do apologize. I know Delzy out there is probably fucking craving it.
Delsy wanted to call out. There you go, Dels. You got it.
Go check out his Instagram. I don't know what it is.
All right. So I wanted to start off with a few things at the beginning.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing I wanted to do was with the podcast side of things, I want to have like a comment section. So when watching, I want to do it at the beginning because people, if they don't watch the whole thing. Now, if you got questions or you want shit that you want us to ask or to bring up, mention in the comments. If you want to shout out, this is the reason why I'm saying, because Delsy mentioned it, and if you want to shout out, drop a comment in the YouTube section. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. True?
True, yeah, why not?
Yeah, so I figured if we do that, we might get a bit more.
Except that one cunt bot. Fucking person.
Yeah, except for that fake.
You want to be friends? Cunt.
Yeah, he was a bit of a fake motherfucker.
Got my hopes up. I was like, oh, we were making some friends.
Straight up, he was commenting every fucking video too.
Yeah.
Also,
and then, the next day on fucking Instagram, people were just posting like the holy trinity of commenters, and it's just all these guys asking him to be your friend. Nice video and shit like that. It's like, oh, damn it.
All right, so before we get into everything as well, would you be able to turn your mic down just a smidgen? Just a smidgen, that's all. I know, sorry. I made him adjust it before, and now I'm making him adjust it again. New microphone, Bart. Where'd you get that from?
Not a new microphone. I'm using my old headset.
Oh. Are you...
No, Blue Yeti Pro. Got it for my birthday.
Yeah.
Fucking mint.
From the boys we all chipped in besides Callum, isn't that right, Daniel? He'd be very happy for me mentioning that. And Lachlan, if you're watching this, which he still hasn't watched it, I think, you owe Daniel you owe him $50. He's upset about it. He doesn't want to say anything, but you owe him $50. Like straight up.
Yeah,
but,
I'm just so fucking dumb. I haven't figured it out yet, and I'm wrapping my head around it, mate.
What are you wrapping your head around? Your headset?
No.
What?
Joking. Nothing. Continue.
Sorry, that went way over my head there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what are we going to talk about first? What are we going to jump into?
Is that for your housekeeping? Is that all done? Because this was all like pretty much on the head. Right?
Yeah. That's. I think there was something else I wanted to mention, but for now, this is where we're at.
Okay. Let's hear the blood donor story. He's been hyping me up about it, about him and his missus, and I'm just so keen to listen to it. He's like, "No, you got to wait till the podcast."
No, look,
I just want to listen to it.
It's not a story that to get hyped up. I hope I didn't get your hopes up too much.
Mate,
but
I've been waiting.
All I want to say is, I almost lost a girlfriend. that's all I want to say. She almost died. Right. So Jasmine signed us up for this blood donation. All right. Now, me being the man, I'm like, yeah, easy, no worries, let's do it. Let's do it, no worries. Yeah. So I didn't want to do anything, so she signed me up, did everything, put in my email address and my password because she knows it all. And we went, we went on Tuesday. So what? Yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So
was it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
So we went in. They made us sit down and fill out all this stuff. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about my problems, but I've got bowel issues, right? We'll just leave it at that. So I didn't fill out on the thing. I didn't write, she said, if there's anything that you're not sure of, just don't fill it in. And one of them was, have you had any digestional or bowel issues over the last 7 days? So I wrote, I just left it blank, and they can bring it up when I'm in it. Yeah. Anyway, so we went in, and so Jasmine went in first, then they brought me in, and they asked me a bunch of questions, like, have you been overseas? They're asking questions about, like, me and Jasmine and holidays, and then what Jasmine's studying at uni. And I must have been nervous, because when she asked me, I had no idea what the answers were. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, I don't know. And she opens this little window, and then like calls in and goes, "Hi, have you got Tyler's girlfriend there? Is that Jasmine?" And she's like, yeah. And then she asks all the questions that she asked me to Jasmine. And she's like, man, he doesn't know the answers. And I'm like, okay, that makes me look bad. Anyway, that's besides the point. We sit, we sit us down on the chairs, in the chairs, and we lie down. And Jasmine, they go over to her, getting her prepped, and then they put the needle in her, and her blood starts coming out. She looked away. She got a bit frightened, but she was okay. She took it like a boss. And then she's like all excited. She's putting her thumbs up, getting happy. And I'm like, yeah, good job, whatever. Yeah. They take me over. They do it to me. I obviously tried to be the man. And then they gave me this little like squeezy thing to squeeze to put the needle. I was squeezing that shit so tight. I couldn't feel my fingers. I was squeezing that tight. I was like that scared. Anyway, so I'm sitting in the chair. And then they're talking to Jasmine. And then I heard her say, I just don't feel so good.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, no worries. And I looked over and the nurse sort of stood in front of me and then just starts talking to me. And like, so she's distracting me and I'm like, oh, okay. And then so they keep talking away and then she walks over to where Jasmine is and all the nurses are over near Jasmine.
Oh my.
And they're flipping her backwards. They're like putting all this stuff on her and then they've put an oxygen mask on her. And she's full sip, and I'm going, what's going on? I'm like, is she all right? Like, is she okay? And they're like, yeah, no, that's fine. She's finished giving all her blood. She's just struggling to breathe at the moment. I'm like, what? Struggling to breathe? What do you mean? And I'm like, I'm getting worried now, and I'm looking at her, and she's like fully flipped up, like she's on like a 45-degree angle, legs in the air, and she's got the oxygen mask, and she's just looking like she's passed out. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, is she all right? Like, what's going on? She's like, no, that's fine. And she goes, remember when you asked me, do people pass out? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, well, this is one of those times. And I'm like, what has happened? And then I started to get like flustered. Then I started to feel squeamish. I'm like, oh, I don't feel so great in my stomach. And they're like, do you feel sick? And I said, no, I'm not sick, just a bit weird in my stomach. They've flipped me backwards. They've pulled the needle out and they've like put these things over my head, these cold wipes. And they're like, oh, you'll be right. And I'm like, no, you don't have to take it out. I just didn't feel so great. They're like, no, we'd rather stop it now than you faint like a... And I'm like, oh, sorry, I feel bad. And they're like, no, I don't feel bad because if you went through with it and fainted, we would have made fun of you. I'm like, oh, thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Thanks, lady. Oh, freaking hell. And then we sat down and we're fine afterwards. And then we're all good. We got our juice box and our cookies. She gave me extra cookies and I smashed them. I ate Jasmine's cookie as well. And then we're sitting outside. It was all good. And there's a little Asian lady. She was one of the nurses, but she didn't want to be with us, like, because no one else was there. It was kind of just us two and this other lady that came in, sat down. They stabbed her and pulled her blood out. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm sweet," and walked off. Yeah. I'm like, "Fucking mission." Anyway, we're sitting, and this little Asian lady, they said, oh, she has to stay with us because we weren't allowed to drive because I felt a little bit sick and Jasmine almost fainted. Yeah. They said we weren't allowed to drive. Yeah. And so we sat outside and the Asian lady got forced to stay out with us. And every 30 seconds she's going, when is your mum coming? And we're like, oh, I don't know. She's coming from Camden, so she'll be a while. Oh, okay. And then she... not want to be with you. Another 30 seconds, she's like, so how long? You'll almost be here? And we're just like, no, still a while. It's still going to be 20. So, okay. Fuck me. It was constant. Just kept on asking. And then she went inside. She's like, I leave door open. Call if you need me. We're like, okay.
Your Asian impression is amazing.
Sorry, I can't do Asian. Give me Indian. I can do Indian, but I can't do Chinese or whatever she was.
Okay, righto.
But, yeah, so that's it. She almost died, and then I drove my car home, and then the next, like, today, I was so lethargic all day, and, like, super fucking tired. I couldn't do anything. And
so weird.
Yeah, I don't know what, but she did say the whole reason for the bowel thing was, she goes, if you've got, like, IBS or something like that, it can affect you, with your state, like, you can feel really tired. So she said, if you've done stuff in the last 7 days, you can't take blood because it stuffs you around. So I think that's what's happened, and that's why I was fucked today. But yeah, and then after all this, right? So she fainted yesterday. Today she went to work. she had a bit of a temperature. This Jasmine, right? She had a bit of a temperature, and they've said you can't come to work. You have to go get tested for coronavirus. So they've sent her off to a testing facility. So she went there this afternoon to get tested. They've grabbed a swab and shoved it up her nose and down her throat. And she said it was so painful. It was worse than the needle.
Yeah.
To check her for coronavirus.
Oh my.
I'm thinking, fuck me. All this for donating blood. We're like, okay.
Fucking a good citizen, right?
Yeah, so then I can't go to work tomorrow because I have to wait for her records to come through. I'm like, fucking hell. I mean, a day off, so I'll take that. But yeah, that's been my 2 days. They've been pretty...
Jesus.
Yeah, a little bit intense.
Yes, because I was going to say, when I donated the blood a couple times, I never felt... Like the first time, I felt a bit woozy.
Mm.
But the next couple times after that, I felt perfectly fine. Just got a bag of chips, drink, and that's it. And went off, fucked off, but went back to work.
Well, she did say the first time is always the worst.
Yeah. I think the second time, I don't know what happened. They fucked up and they put the needle in like at the wrong angle, and they left it in there for like 10 minutes, and like it wasn't collecting blood. And they came back and they're like, oh, okay. And apparently they inserted it wrong, and so they had to do it like they tried to insert it another like 2 or 3 times. So they just kept stabbing me over and over again. I was like, oh, fucking great.
Yeah, right.
You know that squishy thing? I was fucking, my hand was getting tired because of that shit.
Are you meant to squeeze it? Because I was squeezing that thing like tight as, eh?
It's supposed to make your vein pop up, I believe.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to squeeze it too hard. Obviously, like you start cutting yourself or you start getting like bruises on your fucking fingers. Like I will admit, on my first time, I was a bit nervous. So I was squeezing it like pretty fucking. I was going like ham on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fucking serious reaction, man.
Yeah, right. Like it was pretty intense, and I was getting a little bit frightened, to be honest. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they saved her. She didn't die, and the nurse lady, she was like, I said, oh, how long have you been doing this for? She goes, oh, it's my first week. I went, why? And she goes, yeah, first week. She goes, you should have been here the first day, the amount of people that we killed. I'm like, come on, lady, you can't make those jokes. You can't be doing this to me. But, not good, but I would do it again, but
as long as you're still alive, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
I will admit, on my first time that I did it, I didn't research any of it. I'd kind of not got peer pressured, but like I was at work and like, oh, you're gonna donate? I was like, oh, never thought of it. And they're like, oh, but you should since they're here. I was like, oh, okay,
might as well.
all right, might as well. And like I've never done research about it, and I know not jack shit about science and all this shit. And so when they put the needle into my arm, and like I looked away and I looked back, and I thought they'd take it like in my head. I was like, all right, so they just pierce it, the skin, get it into the blood vessel, whatever. And then they pull out the needle, and then like it goes through a tube because it does that flow where it starts flowing out naturally. That's what went in my head. And like me being I didn't know the needle is actually still in your arm, right?
Yeah.
So I kept like flexing my elbow. I was like, oh, this fucking hurts. Why does it hurt so much? And then like after it, they just pull the needle out. I'm like, oh right, that's probably why it fucking hurts. It's like a 2-inch needle in my arm. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's a big needle, eh?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be that big.
Yeah. See, it doesn't hurt as much as getting an injection though.
I don't even remember when I got my last injection, to be honest.
I get those flu vaccinations every so often.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt better than that, to be honest. It hurts. It bruises, not bruises, but like the after effect, like you know when you get your needle, like your flu shot, and it feels like someone punched you after it. Kind of when you donate blood, it feels like someone punched you twice. It just hurts twice as much than actually getting like an injection after the fact.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty peaceful.
I couldn't use my arm for a while. It was like quite still. I think it was more that I was too scared to move it, and I was like doing like trying to drive with my one arm down the side and putting everything on one arm, and I keep forgetting that I kept forgetting that I could actually use it, but just my brain's telling me it's not working.
Limpy arm.
Oh, 100%. It was, but no, it was good. I mean, we enjoyed it. Besides the dying part, it was good.
Right.
But I guess that takes us into, speaking of blood, right?
Oh god.
That's going to push us into one normal thing, right?
One normal thing.
Speaking of Kim Jong-un, blood, sickness, death. Kim Jong-un's alive.
Yeah.
He's,
Shout it out.
he's totally alive. So throw back to episode 1. That little Oompa Loompa looking motherfucker, he's still alive. What the fuck? What happened? Why?
Did you hear what his reasoning was? Apparently,
No.
what he did was he faked his death to try and weed out people that didn't trust him or were against him.
All the traitors.
Yeah. Apparently, that's his reasoning behind it. I don't know if that's like confirmed or not.
Oh, I'd believe it, but
If that's his reason, what a smart cunt. What a little smart little fucking Oompa Loompa.
smart cunt. That's a little boy having a tantrum. My friends don't really like me. I'm gonna pretend to die. Come on, that's fucked up. That's just dumb.
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh, freaking hell! A lot has happened in this year. I gotta say. I mean,
Oh, it's a very eventful year.
we were on fire. We're going through a pandemic. R.I.P. Kobe. I mean, that's the biggest thing that's happened this year.
Oh.
Kim Jong Un reported dead, not dead, dead, alive. You know all that shit. Apparently, the Pentagon has come out to say that UFOs exist.
Yeah, but they called it something else. I can't remember what it was. Unidentified. Like UA something.
Yeah, I don't know. And then they were out just saying like, yeah, UFOs are real, but doesn't mean that it's aliens and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That just shit's weird. And did you ever watch Love Is Blind?
No, never heard of it.
You got to watch Love Is Blind.
What is it?
Now, it's like those Married at First Sight shit, but it's on Netflix. Now, I know, but so Jasmine and I watched it, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, I love these reality shows. I get full into it. Jasmine hates it, but I get full into it. Like Married at First Sight, big fan. But the only thing I hate about it is it's now become so fake.
Oh, right, really?
But
What is really fake?
Well, I think I reckon the first one was probably real, and then they just keep it interesting. But
Right.
So Love Is Blind, right? The premise of this show, it is they put 10 people, 10 males, 10 females, put them in a pod, and they go through and go to different pods and speak to different people, and they go through and talk to each other, but they can't see each other. So they've just got to ask each other questions and so forth, and then they get 10 days to do it, to find out who they like and if there's anyone they want to sit with and be with. And then at the end of it, they have to marry them, like propose to them.
Right.
And then when they propose to them, they go off and do their honeymoon, and they get to know each other, and they all just fuck each other, and then go through and eventually have a wedding at the end. There is so much drama with one bitch trying to cheat. And then the funniest thing is, there's a guy, right? Black guy. Doesn't matter that he's black, but just the way he acts is funny. He gets with a black woman.
Yeah.
Now, he tells everyone on camera that he is bisexual. I think, bisexual. And he's been with both men and women. Okay. Now, he acts like when he's talking to her, he's like real African American. Like, you what's up, girl? Yeah. You're like, you gonna fold your puck because your ass is cold on me. Like, that sort of shit. Like, real black guy sort of shit. Yeah, real like, you might, all that stuff.
Okay, right.
But then, and then he proposes to her. Yeah. He balls down and starts crying, and then she starts crying, and then they go on the honeymoon together. The first day on the honeymoon, he tells her, it says, oh, look, I'm a bisexual. I've been with both men and women, blah, blah, blah. And then so she's a bit shocked, and she's like, look, it's not a big deal, but why couldn't you just tell me this before we proposed? Like, I probably still would have been here. I just would have liked to have known. He's like, oh, you're just like all the other bitches, you and your fake hair. It just starts going ham on her. And she's like, and she goes, what the fuck? She's like, what's your problem? He's like, you just the same old basic bitch. And she's like, I'm not a basic bitch. It starts going ham. And then she grabs a drink and chucks it in his face. And she's like, yeah, bitch, keep walking with your fake ass hair.
Does it come off?
Yeah, her wig falls off. Her wig falls off, yeah.
No, does the show as a whole come out as fake?
No, it comes off pretty good. Like, it's pretty real. That's why we liked it, because it was quite, it seemed quite genuine.
Right. I just can't, just when I watch previews of Maths, like Married at First Sight, I just can't stand.
No, Maths is fucked, yeah. Maths is...
The only thing I remember is like, was that scientist guy? And he like studies I can't remember what he studies, like this astrology or some shit like that. And she's like, she's a Gemini or some fucking dumb shit like that. And the guy just stares her down like she's a fucking idiot. Oh, have you
What's this
seen
on?
it?
What's that off?
Oh, I think it's Married at First Sight. Oh, it's that's the only thing I remember, and it's fucking hilarious. Oh yeah, he's an astrophysicist.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I'm an astrophysicist, and she's like, oh well, I'm a Gemini, and he's just like, okay.
I feel like that's off Love Is Blind. Because one of the
Oh, no, it's
guys.
The Bachelor. It's The Bachelor.
Oh yes, it is too. You're right. Yes.
There you go.
That's that's good.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this images for Love Is Blind. Fuck, those octagons look pretty surreal. Like,
Yeah, and that's what they put him in. So it's completely soundproof, except for that little window thing that they can hear each other through, and that's it.
right. Do they sleep in those rooms?
No, they go back to their rooms. They all talk to each other, and then they go back in. The whole premise is just to say that you can fall in love with someone no matter what their appearance is.
All right,
Just so.
Okay, so they see each other beforehand.
No,
right?
no.
Okay, so then where do they go to sleep? Do they
So
just, like,
all the
guys-
males see each other, and all the girls see each other.
Okay,
And then
I get you.
one of the guys, Barnett, he's a player, so he's got 3 girls that like him, and they all go back and they all start saying, "Oh yeah, I'm in love with Barnett," and they're like, "But I'm in love with Barnett," and they're all like, "Well, Barnett told me this," and then they start all having like hissy fits, going, "What the fuck's going on?" Anyway,
Oh, no.
he like full fell in love with this one chick and completely fucked her up, like completely sent her insane, and then she comes back in the next because he was saying, "Oh, like I don't normally get feelings, but I've
Spoilers
got."
alert, by the way.
Oh yeah, sorry, spoilers, but no one here's gonna fucking listen to it. Delzy ain't watching Love Is Blind. I can tell you that much. He's playing Call of Duty knife and guns. So what was I saying? Yeah, anyway, so he tells his chick, this is the last story I'll say about it. He tells his chick, he goes, he says something like, I've never felt like this about anyone, and I'm scared of commitment, but for you, I can really see a future with you, blah, blah, blah. And she's like super excited. The next day, she comes back, because he's like, I think I might propose to you tomorrow, and she's all super excited. And then she hears that he's been saying the same things to another girl. And so she goes in all ready to like get him to propose, but she's a bit concerned about the other one. And then she's like, "Oh, so where do you think we stand?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't think I like you like that." And so she full like erupts, and then goes back. When they go back into the rooms, she full sculls at like this massive glass of wine, and she's completely pissed. And she goes up to the other chick going, "Stay away from Barnett. He's a fucking asshole." And then he gets with the chick he told was an asshole.
Oh, fucking holy.
It was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
I literally typed in Love Is Blind. I didn't see any of the characters, and I was like, alright, Barnett, who looks like the biggest dumb cunt, biggest smartass fuckwit. And I was like, oh, it's gotta be this guy. And it's the guy that I thought. He just looks like a smug cunt.
Yeah, he's straight up fire.
Shit-eating grin. Oh, and Amber. There you go. Sorry.
Yeah, Amber and Barnett. They all they did was kind of fuck each other towards the end. And then there was one couple, and she was like this South American chick, and she was fucking psycho, eh? She's straight up definition of a South American crazy lady. Like, she's...
Hot-blooded kind of thing.
Oh, hot-blooded, just... You say anything, she'll do anything to start an argument. Loves having arguments in public. Like, they had a dinner meeting. Like, just went to dinner, and she just starts bringing up all the problems straight there to him. And the guy's like, "Can we please just have dinner? Like, why do you have to talk about this now?" And she's like, "No, you don't love me. Why don't you love me?" And he's just like, "Please, what are you doing?" Oh, it's such a good show. Anyway, that's it. That's it for that one. But I just wanted to bring that one up because I liked it. That's all.
Jeez. I might. Is it? So it's on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's just one season. They're looking at bring season 2.
Look, I might give it a look just because you sold it pretty well.
Yeah, thanks. Just because of the black eye. The black eye was the best bit. But that happens at like maybe 3rd or 4th episode in or
I
something.
was gonna say, fuck you ruined it. You should have given me spoilers alert. Spoiler alert. At the
Sorry, spoiler alert.
beginning. Thanks, man.
All right. What else happened? A lot has happened, this year, and it's not even fucking halfway through.
Yeah, I don't know. Just uni as a whole. I'm just so out of tune with uni. Like, I'm just so like not focused on my work. I have no regard for like assignments coming up. I'm just so it just goes over my head, man. And then like the group meeting that I had last night with my assignment group.
Which is the reason why we couldn't do our podcast, right?
Yes. Yeah, fuck.
Gronks.
Like, so we had to go a meeting at 8 a.m. in the morning. It got
Mm.
pushed all the way to 8 p.m. at night. Anyway, besides the point. And then we're just going through all the assignment lists and like all the like the rubrics for our essays and shit like that. And like I was just sitting there like dumbfounded, drool coming out of my mouth. Like I'm not all there for this kind of thing. Oh. That's just like one factor. Like work as well. Lots of people getting stood down, shit like that.
Yeah, how is that going? Working at an airline for that?
Yeah. Yeah. So for those of you, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in like episode 1 or episode 2 of podcast. I do work at an airline, but kind of like the loyalty part of it. So I don't actually work with like I'm not like part of the stewardesses or like the baggage people or the people that fly the planes or whatnot. I'm more back end admin stuff, and so it's pretty much the same thing. Nothing's really changed because we all our stuff's online, right? So we just work in the through our databases. But then you see all these emails saying, "Oh, this team's being not let go, but being stood down," and then apparently we can start going back into our office soon.
Yeah, right.
But only if you have to, and if you don't have to, they'll send you away, kind of thing. But I'm so sick of staring at a wall and like not talking. Like I miss socializing with people at work, like just sitting down and taking the piss, kind of thing.
That gets over real quick.
Oh, I'm so bored sitting here not talking to anyone. All right.
So do you do like Zoom meetings and group meetings and stuff every day, or?
We do Google Hangouts every morning for about 15 minutes, kind of thing, as a group thing, and then on Thursdays we have the CEO of the business do like a massive kind of group call.
Yeah.
And so that's when like each people from like different departments and different businesses come in, and we all get together and talk about what's going on, kind of thing. Because the airline industry at the moment's fucking struggling, obviously. But I think with the loyalty part of it, we're kind of like at the moment we're kind of the backbone of the business because not many people are flying, and people would rather just kind of spend their points or spend their like their travel points or whatnot.
Yeah, right.
But I think people, because what they say, there's something about like $19 flights to Melbourne and shit like that, and they're trying to get people to start flying again. So hopefully,
well, because we're going to be able to fly soon. They're looking at
is it stage 2 or 3?
Yeah, they're looking at June. I think that they're looking at bringing flights to in and like interstate, and then being able to fly into New Zealand as well.
Yeah, it'd be a good time to fly New Zealand.
Yeah, you should be able to pick up some cheap flights there. But mate, Qantas is going to monopolise. I mean, if Virgin
You ruined it.
Oh, sorry. Virgin is going to Was that not meant to say where?
At what point did I ever say Qantas? Huh?
Well, you work at you work at Tiger Air, brother. What are you talking about?
This is like the name and shame pepperoni nipples from last week.
Fuck you both. Fuck you and your pepperoni fucking airline.
I gotta write down, make sure not to name and shame businesses.
Yeah, you gotta tell me this shit. I don't know what I'm not meant to and not meant to.
I thought it was pretty well insinuated with me not saying Qantas at all.
I wasn't listening to what you were saying.
That hurts.
I'm only joking. You don't work at Qantas. It was all a ploy.
Yeah.
Oh, look, you do. All right.
You fucking talk.
Oh, stop kidding. You work at fucking.
I want AJ to come in and listen to this, and like 5 minutes into it, it's just you making like an Asian accent. Is this what I really want to listen to?
Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot you wanted your friends to listen to the podcast. Yeah, right.
I'm fucked. I'm not gonna have a job now.
They're like, all right, we're downsizing, but only because of a podcast. No, but hey, you fucked it up because I said Qantas is gonna monopolise, and you ruined it.
Oh, you go straight to Qantas then?
Well, because all the airlines are being
airlines in general.
Yeah, because all the airlines are getting fucked over, but Qantas of all places is gonna monopolise. That's on you, mate. I'm not taking responsibility.
Next you were telling me that you didn't mention fucking pepperoni nipples last week. That was all a ploy.
I
It was
was,
my fault as well.
bro, I was talking about pizza. It was not my fault you brought up a name.
What? I didn't bring up her
No.
fucking name. What is it? You fucking rat cunt.
Oh, good times, good times. Oh, did you have
Go on.
did you have fun working at Virgin?
No, we're all gonna go down, mate. We're all losing ourselves. You continue with your Qantas monopolizing.
Well, I was gonna say Qantas got to monopolise. If Virgin, crashes, Tiger Air ain't lasting. That's for sure. Tiger's not gonna make it. They were good for cheap flights and pot belly. Fucking, what do you call them? Flight attendants. Every time I went, all of them had pot bellies, eh? Like every single one, and they were always rude. You want a cookie? Yeah, I'll have a cookie, please. $9.99. Like fuck, $9.99 for a small cookie. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, they were always Patty and Selma from The Simpsons. Always. That's always who they were.
Oh god, I've never been. Actually, never been on a Tiger Air flight.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I've only been on Virgin, Jetstar, and domestically, Qantas as well. But I've been on like land.
Which one do you normally fly with?
Qantas.
Why is that?
Why not? Well, discounts, bro, because of the discounts. But I don't get discounts anymore because I changed my contract changed. So
Really?
I don't know. I'll probably start. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. It sucks.
Like, is that podcast changed or is that it changed?
So I used to be intern now. I interned before, right?
Yeah.
But now I'm under a contractor.
So you think you get more?
Yeah, no, but contractors don't get like flight benefits and shit like that.
What a joke.
Yeah, I don't want to go probably too much into it, but like so I lost all the flight benefits in a sense.
Yeah. No.
So probably going back to Jetstar or some shit like that. But I rarely fly anyway, right? Only recently, like in the past year.
Oh,
I've started
definitely
flying a
not
bit more.
recently.
Yeah, definitely not recently. Like in my whole life, I generally haven't really flown too much. Like up until 2 years ago, the only place I went to was like Chile. But then I've obviously ventured out to Japan, and then I started visiting states in Australia. And I hope to visit some more states by the end of this year. I hope by next year, maybe end of next year, I've probably visited. I would hope to visit every state in Australia.
Go to Northern Territory.
Up there.
Hmm?
What's up there? Dirt?
Well, one, it's a state. Two, your people.
My people are in Queensland. Near Queensland, bro. To clarify, I'm like 1/16 Indigenous.
124. That barely counts.
No, it's like 1/16. And if you trace my ancestors back, and they're part of the Gamalori people.
My question is, right, before you continue into your Gemaweri people,
Gamalori people.
okay, why is it that no matter who you are, if you've got 1/16 or 1 fucking ounce Aboriginal in you, you're nothing else but Aboriginal? Why that?
Bro. What do you mean?
Yeah, I know, but look at everyone else, right? Like people from where we used to go to school, for example. Not going to name names, but they were very little. Now,
I like the pun. Sorry, we can't ruin the pun for you.
I thought I was so clever. You made me laugh.
You know. I feel a bit bad. We're leaving our audience out of the joke.
Sorry, guys. You just go with us. It's hilarious.
Yeah, just go with the flow.
Well, Delsy's not going to get it. Sorry, Dels. We'll tell you in Warzone. Now, sorry. What was I saying? Yeah. Why is it you're 1/16th? Nothing else. You're just Aboriginal. My people, my this, my that. Yep, that's cool. But I'm more fucking Italian than you are Aboriginal. Brian can walk around going, me and my fucking people from Italy over there. I mean, they're struggling for coronavirus.
Based, right? So, because I'm Indigenous, right? Or anyone's Indigenous, and you live actually in Australia, right? It's a bit more meaning behind it because you can actually go out and venture and learn about your culture. like say like you're Italian, it might be a little bit harder depending on where you live. Maybe if you're living in like Liverpool or some shit like that, maybe it's a little bit. You can just go outside and people are just selling fucking pizza and shit like that. Um, but I think it's just because your location, right? So like
Walk around the streets of Liverpool, there's 7 pits. I'm Italian. I'm Italian. They're like, rah, this is Domino's. yeah, but I'm Italian.
I can't go to Liverpool and go.
Do I get free pizza? Do I get free pizza? I'm Italian.
Are you though? Are you?
Fuck knows. I'm like 1/50th.
But like, yeah. So like, even just looking at the map, right? So my heritage, my ancestors, Gamaleria, is just literally a couple of hours away from where I live, right?
Mm.
So you just go up there and you can like probably learn about the culture, which is a bit more significant for people, right? Like, say if you're Italian, you go to like a different country to learn about your like to actually go and really learn about your culture. Right? You can do it like through storytelling here.
But like, see, that's the thing. But
Hmm.
it's not really my culture. But my culture is what it is now. Just living life.
It's whether you choose to embrace it or like to introduce it into your current routine, right? Like
Yeah, I guess so.
I wouldn't say
Would you say you embrace your
Indigenous.
Aboriginal culture?
I do, but only to a certain extent, right? Like I won't go out and preach. Like I know I probably sound a bit hypocritical, but I won't go out to the streets and be like, oh, I'm Indigenous, everyone. Look, I'm Indigenous. I can pay attention to me, come. Same thing. I won't go out and say, look, I'm Chilean. I'm Chilean. I wouldn't do that, right? But like if there's like a say where I work, Qantas, right? We do celebrations for like
Alright, you did that one yourself.
I'm going
I
for
said
it
you
now.
worked for Tiger Air.
Yeah. We do celebrations for NAIDOC week, and I'll get involved in that, like setting up stalls, selling stuff. Um, that's where NAIDOC week is where I won the intern of the year, right?
Mm.
And it's for Indigenous interns. There's some stages where I do get involved, but it's not as extensive probably as people who are really into their like Indigenous culture.
Yeah.
But
All right. I'm going to ask a question. Now, this is going to seem super insensitive. I'm purely just asking for an honest opinion,
go for it.
and I'm not saying anything. Just purely honest. Would you say when you say you get involved in certain, like for intern of the year, would you say you're only getting involved in programs that do benefit you to an extent, or something that you're thinking about? Makes me feel good because it's part of my culture, or is it only based on there's a benefit involved? And I'm not saying like government handouts or anything like that. I'm just saying, for example, like programs for unis and stuff like that. Are you only going for it because it's a benefit, or because you want to embrace your culture?
See, that's subjective, right? So the benefit who? Benefit me?
Benefit you,
Right.
purely just you, purely personal.
Yeah, but like it can be like a psychological benefit or an actual like physical monetary benefit, right? So I can like for an example with I used to be part of this program. I won't mention it, but it was an Indigenous program, and like part of the not requirements, but part of the kind of program initiative was to go out and like support Indigenous groups.
Yeah.
So like and you put into like teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe our one, this was a while back. Our one was to actually like go and raise funds for Indigenous housing and like homeless Indigenous people, right? So there's parts where I do take part of it where I kind of embrace into the culture to try and benefit other Indigenous people, not just myself.
Yeah.
But that is in that sense benefiting me in a sense, like because it makes me feel a bit better and it
Okay.
kind of strengthens my
So
connection to the.
you do volunteering work, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I do it regularly on a regular a regular basis.
Have you done it multiple times, or you did it once? Because you
done
said
it-
that
I've
was
done it-
part of a program. You had to
Yeah, 'cause
volunteer to be part of it.
Yeah, because of the program, right? The initiative was carried on like yearly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a continuous thing that you do.
What did you get out of the program? Like, what did it give you?
I don't want to say too much without keeping.
No, that's all right. Was it just purely for gratitude, or did it help you with your career, or you?
It gave me it was the reason where I have my job now, right? It gave me leeway into the position.
Okay, all right. And have you ever volunteered just because, in general, or
Like
without a
third party,
without a third
introducing
party,
me?
just going out of your own way on your own volition to go volunteer because you want to embrace your culture or community or whatever it is?
Um,
I'm not trying to interrogate. I'm just purely just interested at this point.
I gave $2 to the stripper for at Sydney.
I'm talking about more about you. Well, it's you with your culture, you fucking idiot. I wouldn't even give $2 to that stripper, skank. You saggy looking titty bitch.
What are we talking
Do you reckon
about
she's
now?
got calluses on her nipples because they just drag on the floor as she walks?
You sure we're talking about pepperoni? Oh my god.
No,
Um,
no, I'm not. No. Do you remember that chick at our school that had like head of a horse and her her titties look like, you know, when you fill up water balloons and they go really long?
Oh yes, I know who you're talking about.
Holy Jesus! No, she was like embracing
Does their
Italian
first name
culture, huh?
does their first name start with J?
Yes, yes,
Okay, yeah, okay.
yes. Water balloon titties.
Yeah, and their
Yeah.
last name starts with R.
Yes,
Okay.
nice.
Okay,
It's an
okay,
issy.
okay.
It's an issy.
Jeez, you remember so. Look, let's not stray into titties too much, right? Let's get
You ever
back
talk
to our.
fannies?
Oh my!
Sorry,
I thought we
go.
were having a civil
Yeah,
discussion
yeah.
now.
Sorry. Go back.
Now we're
Anyway,
talking about. I
uh,
probably brought it up. My bad.
back to volunteering when you gave money to the stripper. Go.
Um, I
Oh,
think on my
Jesus.
own volition, I don't think I've ever been like, all right, I'm gonna go and donate.
Ah, see, abusing the system. That's where I wanted. No, I'm only
You got
joking.
me.
Sorry, continue. I'm kidding. Continue.
I think there's been a bit of give and take, right?
Mm,
And I've only started getting involved in these like since 2017, right?
yeah.
So I've only been part of it 3 years, and like in these 3 years, because I wasn't really aware of like my Indigenous ancestors up until uh basically when so 2016,
Mm-hmm.
no 2015, 2016, right? And then as soon as I started learning that, um, I actually sat down, and started researching my family,
Mm.
like my family history and stuff like that. Because
Did you ever do that ancestry.com?
no. Um, my nan, she actually had a because my nan, her father is Indigenous, right? And you can go to him, and not to sound like racist or anything, but if you go and see him, 100% you'll be like, oh yeah, he's Indigenous. He
Yeah.
sounds Indigenous. He looks Indigenous.
He's a boogie.
Um, yeah. And she had a it's weird. She had this little book, and I don't know if this is common with like Indigenous
Mm.
families or whatnot, but it had a book and it had images and it had a biography of each individual person, right?
Yeah.
And because my nan, she had her father had 8 brothers, right? And
Yeah.
so the family tree was fucking massive, and it was such an interesting read. Um,
So where do they
yeah.
originate from? Are they all originally from Queensland, like your
So if
mob, or is it from here?
they're from um they're they're from around the area, but some of the brothers went back to go live up north, I believe, because a lot of his brothers didn't live anywhere close to where we live, so I never got to meet them, right?
Yeah. Have you ever
And
thought
if you look
about
at,
doing a trip to go up and meet them all?
I really want to, but I want to find the time to do it first, right? So I want
Yeah.
to get uni done, I want to get like a job situated
Yeah.
properly, kind of thing, and then I might go over because it's not that far. Like if you look on the map, it's not that far. It's near, you know what Tamworth is?
Yeah. Oh,
So
it's only a Tamworth. That's all right.
So Tamworth is part of the Gamilori
Yeah.
as
Right.
well, right?
Okay.
But the Gamilori like people is massive. Like if you look on the map, it's like um, it goes from like Tamworth all the way, and then it goes into like up towards Toowoomba-ish,
Yeah. Okay.
right? So it's pretty massive, and I'd love to go up there, but like again, I want to get everything situated, and then I want to actually do research on like kind of like where tribes or where like the mob is like kind of situated in, because I just don't want to go up there and be like, all right, sweet, I'm in Tamworth. Fuck, do I do now?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. All right.
Well, you'd obviously have to make contact with her before you go up, and
Yeah, yeah.
because
And
yeah. Sorry.
sorry. I just feel like that's going to be a lot of work in itself. So I just
Oh,
want to
for
get everything
sure.
kind of like pat down, make sure, and then like it would be awesome to go see my family over there.
Mm.
But I've had no contact with anyone that lives over there, so it'll be it's going to be a mission.
I think that would be super rewarding to be able to like do all this research, track down your family, and actually go up and visit them.
Yeah.
Because like you'd know so much about them without actually meeting them, and when you see them, it kind of become quite surreal.
Yeah.
Because creating
Oh,
a
it'd be
mission
amazing.
around it to say like, oh, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go, and then to
Yeah.
actually achieve it, I think that would be pretty rewarding.
Yeah. I'd also want to I love to learn the language. I'm not exactly sure what the native language is for the Gamalori people. I'd have
Yeah,
to
because
research
there's
it.
every tribe had their own
Oh,
language, eh? And they
it'd be
couldn't
like
actually communicate with each other, wasn't it?
I wouldn't have a clue. I think most of the languages were not similar, but they had very similar.
Yeah, I think they had really strong dialects.
Yeah, that's the word. Sorry, I was trying to think
And
of
it
it.
was like, because it's the same as Italy. So you got, well, it's not the same, but from when you look at Sicily, the dialect there is completely different to, say, northern Italy. And those two communicating struggle heaps. It's
Yeah,
basically a different language. And I remember at school they were saying that was the same thing with different tribes, with Aboriginals. They couldn't, or Indigenous, sorry, they couldn't, or they struggled to communicate from tribe to
yeah.
tribe.
Apparently, there's more than 250 indigenous languages
Crazy, eh?
and 800 dialectal varieties, whatever variations. Sorry.
It,
That's fucking crazy.
it's
And like,
pretty
I wouldn't even know
insane.
how to. Like, I wouldn't even know. Maybe if it's just like an easy Google search, like Gamalori language or something like that. But I would love to learn it, and that'd be so interesting.
Well, because where the Darawal people are, I mean, like like this area
Hmm.
is the Darawal, and they're aren't they like the biggest or second biggest um, tribe in
I
all of
think
Australia?
I think so. I remember hearing that they were massive and they
Yeah,
spanned such a. Let me have a look.
because they're all of like Wollondilly, the Shire.
Hmm.
They're all of like Camden Council, all this side.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like one of the biggest ones. I might be wrong, but even this Gamalori, um, these are it's a massive part of Australia. Um, and I can't even imagine how many different. Yeah, they form one of the four largest indigenous nations in Australia.
So what are the four
The
biggest
Gamalori.
ones?
The Gamalori.
Is Gammalori
Um,
the largest?
no, Gamalori is one of the four largest. I don't know what the largest one is. I'll be honest, which is quite interesting. Yeah, so it spans from New South Wales to southern Queensland. Language. Alright, so the language is called Gamalori language, classified as the Pama Nuan language. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Language
got
is no
no
longer
idea.
spoken, but like I, even just hearing that kind of makes me sad that the language is no longer spoken, and the last
That's the
fluent
shit.
speaker
Yeah,
is was in 1950.
that's shit.
Yeah, I would.
That's stuff that I hate hearing. The fact that, look, as much as I'm gonna be real honest here, as much as everyone rips on it, I'm not gonna lie, I rip on it all the time. I do
Yeah.
it because it's funny and it's fun.
Mm.
I genuinely don't mean it. It's honestly is just a joke.
Mm.
But I think in life you do need to make fun of stuff just because it's fun and have a laugh with things. Like there's too much racism in this world to and too much hate to not have a laugh and then make things become so you can't say this, you can't say that because people are too sensitive.
Mm.
And I think that's the problem in this world. And it is the saddest thing to hear that cultures are being destroyed and disappearing. Like
Yeah.
not knowing their own language is that sucks, man. That's shit.
Oh yeah.
Because that's all. Like I'm a massive history buff. You know I'm a history buff
Mm.
of no matter what history, even if it's I'm making fun of Aboriginals and Indigenous stuff. I still want to know about it. I'm still curious, and I don't really hate them. That that
All right, stop
sounds
saying yourself here. It sounds so
it's
bad, bro.
sounding so bad at the
They're
moment.
not
That's
that bad, alright? They're
I
alright.
don't hate them. I wish they were dead. That's not true. But my point is the fact that the language is gone is crap, and that's something that has happened, and it's not just happened here; it's happened all over the world. Cultures got
Mm.
destroyed. Like, for example, you look at the Carthaginians, right?
Mm.
Rome versus the Carthage. Right? There was Africa versus Italy, basically.
Right.
Now, Rome. I'm completely getting off topic here, but Rome destroyed Carthage. Completely destroyed Africa, and
Right.
destroyed their cities, destroyed their libraries, destroyed everything that was known about them.
Mm-hmm.
And we know so little about Carthage because the Romans destroyed everything.
Right.
And that in turn is essentially what we tried to do to, the Indigenous here.
Right.
But we just weren't as successful. And it's horrible. It's shit because then you don't learn anything. You don't know anything new, and you really don't get to the grasp of what these different cultures and stuff are, do you?
Don't lump me in with those convicts. I'll go straight to my Chilean side. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's a bit shit in the long run, but
Yeah.
howdy
Um.
doody.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's a bit of a wrap up on our beliefs on our Indigenous side, and yeah, I feel like to kind of like wrap it round back to where we started in a sense. I feel like after I finish with uni, I'd have a bit more time to like get more involved into the Indigenous community, but at the same time, I kind of want to put a bit of time into the Chilean side as well because I don't know if this will sound mean or anything, but I have more roots into my Chilean side because my mum is actually Chilean
Yeah,
and I
that's
go to
right.
Chile. I have family over there. I can somewhat speak Spanish, kind of thing.
Mm.
And I know jack shit about their culture. I know the like the indigenous people of Chile is called the Mapuche people, I believe, and they're very similar to like the Native Americans, I guess, like in
Right,
kind of like what they wear and something like that.
Chilean history is hectic. If you want to set time aside to do some research, Chilean history is fucking baller.
Yeah,
I'd recommend a read on it because the shit that they've done and what they've been able to create is insane. And that is where you can tie into Ancient Aliens if you're curious. There's people out there that believe that there's something across the world where all aliens are, you know, connected with something like, say, for the pyramids, for example, Machu Picchu. You look at the Isles of... Can't remember now. But there's different stone masonry that was used all around the world that's the exact same. And they're saying that there's no way that they could have communicated the exact same way of crafting. It's very, very interesting. Completely bullshit, but very, very good read. And Chile's a big part of that too.
yeah. So even at the end of the year, I think my family wants to go back to Chile just to go and explore because my mum hasn't really been to like the north side of Chile.
Really?
Her and her family live in the south side,
Yeah.
and so we want to go out up north and have a look at it. And I think north is where like all the like alpacas and shit like that are.
Yeah.
That would be fucking cool to see. But I'd like to go learn a bit more about my Chilean culture as well, because I think I'm more ingrained into that in a
Yeah.
sense
Well,
more than my
you
indigenous.
live and breathe it every day.
Yeah, even like when my mom just speaks Spanish, like I don't have anyone near me that I know of that's like personal that expresses their indigenous beliefs or
Mm.
like that can like teach me the language without me having to go and research. But like I have my mom, right? Who
Yeah.
speaks Chile, like who speaks Spanish to me. I'm part of like a pretty decent Chilean group chat with all my family and stuff like that.
Mm.
So I feel like I'd probably be more inclined to learn more about my Chilean side than my indigenous side, but it'd still be cool to learn about my indigenous side as
Yeah,
well.
for sure. And also being able to speak Spanish. I mean, you can go all around the world and be able to communicate with people.
Yeah, yeah. Like say if I learned indigenous language, it'd be cool, but it wouldn't be as useful.
It
As
wouldn't be
learning,
practical,
say,
is the word.
yeah, yeah. That's the word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what we always turn everything to become quite political in these podcasts.
I don't think that was that political. I think it was just kind of like ancestry.com
Yeah,
summary.
it was very heavy at one point. We always go from super lighthearted, pepperoni, to horse nipples to fucking political shit. I like it. It's good.
Oh god, I don't want to be known for that.
But-
Can we go back to toxic relationships real quick?
Yes. All right. All right.
I tried to wrap it in from when we were talking about love at what was it? That love show?
Yeah, sorry. Then we went on a bit of a... I don't even know how we fucking got into what we got into talking
how did
about
we get to
Indigenous
Indigenous
Australia.
fuck?
Talking about Love is Blind. Remember we blinded the Aboriginals?
Oh my god.
All right, guys. Kick us off with this one. We couldn't really get a
Oh.
segue into this, could we?
Alright. Just imagine we somehow segued into toxic.
Yeah. Oh,
relationships.
so I drank this toxic drink yesterday. Fuck it.
Beautiful. Toxic relationships.
Oh, awesome.
All right.
Go for it.
I can't. Oh, fucking. It just infuriates me so much, bro. I just even though I know they're not like my relationships. Not yet, though. Not at least. I don't think I've been part of a super serious toxic relationship.
You have.
You reckon?
Yes.
No. I never told you this story. Bit of a short segue. Um, let's go. What should we call our ex? My ex. Sorry.
Jungle Fever.
Ice Queen.
Ice Queen. What? Yeah, what
Ice
did we
Queen.
call her? Yeah, I think it was Ice Queen, wasn't it?
It was Ice Queen.
Yeah.
Okay, but cop that one.
Cop
Alright,
that
but
one, you fucking Ice Queen.
I think this. I don't know why I remember this conversation so
Vividly.
vividly. Yeah, but it just stuck out in my head because it sounded so stupid. She, um, she was very manipulative in a sense, but I at the end of it I kind of caught on, but at the beginning, no. But she kind of there was this time where she was like acting super depressed, and she was like, "Oh, come over," and I was like, "Oh, kind of no, I'm all good. I just want to. I got to do some shit to do." And she started saying stuff like she started replying in one-word answers, and I was like, "Oh fuck, now she's gonna be in a mood, whatever." And I ended up going over her house. And then the next day, I think we were at school or something, and she goes, "Oh, apparently one of my friends told me that I might be manipulating you." I was like, "What? Yeah. You need one of your friends to tell you that? Are you fucking retarded?" Like, even when I was doing it, I knew I was being manipulated, but I still went for it because, you do shit for love, right?
Yeah.
But seriously need, like, I wonder how in my head, I wonder how the discussion would have gone. I cried and I made my boyfriend feel bad to come over to my house. Do you reckon that's manipulative?
How is that manipulation, but?
Just the way, because it was part of the way that she structured it, right? So
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Yeah.
Oh,
She's manipulating
right.
you, bro. I wasn't generally asking.
Right.
Oh, how's that manipulation? That's not.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I explained it. Now I have to go through it again. Just the way that she managed to just change her attitude quick. Like, I know she was in shit attitude, but then started to make me feel like the bad guy, even though it had nothing to do with me.
That sounds
kind of
familiar.
Yeah, I wonder who did that.
Mm.
But again, we're not.
Speaking of Daniel, we know you dislike the video. However, he removed it. He's removed the dislike when we brought it up, and dislike has.
Did he
yes.
actually?
So there has been a dislike removed from our podcast. So all I'm saying is, I know you did it, but you didn't have to make it so obvious when we brought it up. You didn't have to pull out the dislike.
What do you mean? It still has a dislike.
Yeah, no, that's a new one.
Oh, you can't. Fuck you, Logan. I don't want to be your friend anymore.
He changed his name. Logan wasn't Logan. It was what was it before?
You cheap cunt.
Because they found out that he's a robot.
Yeah, it's Cal or some shit like that.
Oh, we got a dislike on both videos now. Fuck me, Daniel. What are you doing? Stop
Daniel.
disliking our shit.
Why'd you bring up Daniel, huh?
I don't know. What are you talking about? Yeah. Anyway, toxic relationships. I think what frustrates me most about toxic relationships is being an outsider. So knowing your mate's going through a shit time and you can't do anything about it. Yeah. Those are the worst. Because you want to be there for them, but you hate who they're with, and you know that they're fucking them up, and you just can't do anything. Like you tell them, but at the end of the day, it's not your place to say anything. You can say your opinion when asked for.
Yeah.
So it's just that's when it's infuriating, when you know the end result and you can't resolve it yourself.
It's so clear as day.
Yeah.
Right. And you're just watching it like a horror film play out, and they're basically like that stereotypical fucking dumb bitch that falls down. He's like, get up, cunt. Just get up, please.
Yeah, 100%. And then, yeah.
Oh, it just hurts to see, and then you see them hurt, and you're like, oh.
And then you feel bad for him, and you feel terrible, and you just want to be there for him. But then you just think, fuck, we told you so.
Yeah.
So there's that little bit of like, good. I'm glad that happened. just a little bit. I hope you're okay.
Yeah. But then after shit resolves itself, then you kind of like you sit back and like all that fighting, all that like not arguments, but just like displeasure, all for nothing, was just ended just like that.
I'm sure there was some pleasure involved.
Yeah, but then you realize that like you're up against it for like a year or 2 years kind of thing, and you've been wanting it to end,
Um,
and then it just ends like that. After all, you've been like, oh, like you shouldn't do this, or maybe this isn't the right choice kind of thing.
mm,
And then all of a sudden, out of their own volition, they just like, all right, let's end it in like 1 day.
yeah.
It's just like all your work was just like for nothing.
Just gone for zero.
Yeah.
All right, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Relationships, right?
Go for it. I don't know the sort. I've only been in one.
Yeah. We'll go from there. Okay, sex. Do you reckon that's a big part of a relationship?
Mm.
Do you think it's a major point? Not the whole thing, just a major area.
That's hard. So I think being able to feel comfortable enough to actually like see each other in that way and to show that kind of like ultimate form of love, right? I think that's important, but I don't think sitting down every day and having sex.
No,
Sitting
not
down.
every day, but like, is it important? Like, if you guys didn't have sex, do you reckon you could be just as happy as a couple that did? And if the sex was shit, do you think you could still be as happy as a couple that had good sex?
I think again that's super, for me. I think that's super subjective because I know
Oh, you're such a fucking feminist. Subjective.
I'm a
Just
sensitive,
answer
bro.
it.
I know. Okay, look, let me answer it this way, right? Subjectively, I don't think it matters. For me personally, if there wasn't like actual like proper like nobody enjoyed the sex or there wasn't any sex at all, I wouldn't be very comfortable. That I'd feel like we we our love for each other only extends to like a metaphorical sense, or just to I love you and like a hug and a kiss,
Yeah.
right? Not like the because that sex is supposed to be the ultimate form of intimacy, right?
Yeah.
Um, and for me, if we can't achieve that, or we don't have it to a certain standard, right? Or we're just not interested in it, it's kind of like, all right, well, I'm if you can't show me like if you can't take part in such an activity, maybe we don't have this ultimate form of love for each other.
Yeah.
But then again, I know there's people that really couldn't give less two shits about having sex, but they're very, very sad
Yeah.
people.
But but see, the thing is, I didn't ask what's right. I'm asking for your opinion on that is. So you think that if you don't have sex, you obviously don't feel comfortable enough with each other, so then it cannot be a healthy relationship? Is that what you're saying?
How about you stop putting words in my mouth? No, that's about what I said.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't care about your opinion, so I'm not gonna ask.
That's all right.
No, go on, tell me. No, go on, tell me.
That's fine. We don't have to hear my opinion.
No, come on, go on.
No,
You got a
good.
dick for a picture. You have to tell me.
Okay. All right. So I'm not wearing any clothes right now.
Okay.
No, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. My opinion on it is, I think sex is very important.
Alright.
I don't think it's the main thing. I don't think it's the be all and end all, but I think you're right. It is the ultimate form of intimacy, and it's a way you express each other. And I think if it's not good and you're struggling, there's obviously something wrong. So I think if how do I put this delicately?
You're talking from experience, I know. Not personal experience. We know someone. How can I?
Do we? I'm lost on
In
what you're
relation
saying.
to what you are.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think if you're not going and doing that and don't feel comfortable in the bedroom together and you're struggling, then I don't think it's a healthy relationship, because you don't feel, if you're too uncomfortable to be in that position, you're not going to be comfortable enough to say if there's a problem in the relationship.
Right.
And I think that is something that's quite evident. So showing your all means that you show your all physically and emotionally as well. And if
we're going to limit our politics talk.
Sorry?
I thought we were going to limit the amount.
This is not politics. This is relationships now. We are a dynamic podcast. We don't just talk about fucking hoochie mamas and titty waffles.
We're more civilized.
We're a civil podcast with our 8 subscribers and our fucking 80 views that come from us and Delzy and the dislike from Danny. Friend. But I'm terrible at this name shit, eh? I'm not.
You are so bad.
I'm not into. You're talking about politics, but you're more political than I am because you're being very political about the way you talk about shit. I'm going in. This is me. Deal with it.
Jesus.
Although,
At least not name and shame people. We're gonna lose all our mates because of this, bro.
what do you mean? I didn't name and shame anyone. I was just saying Daniel disliked our video. We made that very adamant.
Naming and shaming. I think that's the definition of naming and shaming.
All right. I don't know if you disliked or not. I thought the dislike disappeared, but now I believe that you liked it. You're happy? I only say it because it's funny. We love him so much. All right, let's get that part out of the way. How much do we love our mates? In all honesty, me and no. We got to be honest at this point. You and I, let's face it, we're the biggest dicks in our group. We're assholes.
Yeah, but I've calmed down over the years. I used to be such a prick in high school and shit like
Yeah,
that.
but you're still a prick. But you just pretend to be nice to them after you've been a prick to them to keep them as a friend because you're dead inside now. But
Yeah,
look, we're assholes to our friends. That's pretty evident. However, let's be honest. If they ever needed something, we'd be there in a heartbeat, eh?
Not for Lachlan, but yeah.
No, see, I would for Lachlan. I know Lachlan doesn't like me that much.
Long story short, Lachlan's ex-girlfriend did invite Tyler to a birthday party.
And he didn't stick up for me. He didn't even say, "Oh, can we invite Tyler?" No, just fucking left it. And then told everyone in the same time that I wasn't invited. I'm like, oh, fuck. Anyway, so I'm sure Lachlan likes me, and I'm a friend of his. But if he had to save all of us bar one, I'd be the first one gone. Even Callum would get a fucking spot before I would.
He'd step on your body's way out.
He'd be the person that kicks me off the cliff. It's not natural because he goes, oh, whoops. But either way, if that cunt needed me, I'd be there in a heartbeat. I'd be the head of him. Callum, I would be. But, no, I'd be there. No but.
Nah, there was a but.
Danny, I would definitely go above and beyond because I know Daniel would do the same for anyone else.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Otherwise he'd punch a wall.
That's a
punch a wall, go help him out.
That's the thing about Daniel. I mean, he's got so many flaws, but we love every one of them. We love every one of his flaws.
That kid's fucked, but I love him.
But he's so perfect that he's so fucked that he's perfect.
I know.
He honestly is.
I couldn't live life without him.
No, I honestly couldn't. I honestly, if he was not like if he wasn't one of my friends, I don't think I'd be as happy as I was.
Yeah.
I'd still be happy. I'd still fucking live my life and not give a care of the world. But without Danny, there's a little piece of me missing.
We'll have him on the podcast one time.
Oh, 100%. We're going to have all the boys on the podcast and we'll end up doing a group one, I reckon.
He's too racist to be on here.
He's very racist. He hates Aboriginals.
Setting you up for failure.
He's such a nice guy, but man, he hates anyone that's not white. I don't know what it is about him.
Spell it out for you.
Sorry, he doesn't watch a podcast anyway. He'll get blindsided. No.
We're just going to comment, is this the racist cunt you guys are talking about?
They'll be like, our first comment that's like an actual comment will be like, kill the racist cunts. I think the funniest insult I think Daniel's ever given someone was honestly to Lachlan when just out of nowhere he dies in Warzone and just straight up goes, Lachlan, you fucking gremlin cunt. And that's fucking
I didn't know that was part of his vocabulary up until that.
Everyone went quiet and Lachlan's like, why me?
He didn't even die. He died like ages ago, and then out of nowhere, oh my god.
Oh shit, that's funny.
How long have we been going for now?
Oh, hang on. Let me just give a tiddlywink check. An hour and 10 minutes, mate.
Holy shit.
Should we call it quits?
I reckon you should call it there.
Yeah, I reckon too. All right.
Talk about spooky stories and
Oh.
travel to the city.
Oh, we didn't talk about anything about you, did we?
Yeah, that hurts, bro. It was more about you this week. All right,
It
next week's my
was.
week.
Sorry, mate. I mean, you had fucking 50 minutes in the last one. I figured I'd get. Let me get a turn this time.
That is true. That is true.
No. It honestly was a lot about me. I'm sorry about that. I apologise.
Yeah. All right. Next week's my week.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, honestly, if you've made it this long, fucking really,
We love you.
good on ya.
How sad is your life?
How do you have this
Stick to the end
much
of
time? Delzy, go out and meet people. You should not be listening
go
to
play
us.
D&D or something. I don't know.
Actually, I want to do another D&D. That was
Invite
fun.
us to your D&D session, mate.
Yes, we'll do a I reckon that would be fun. I reckon I'd be a good dungeon master. Give me a little scenario, and I'll be the dungeon master.
Mate, we're going for an hour and 10 minutes. Let's not extend it.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
not.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to episode 3. Next
love you
time,
all.
next time we'll get our podcast out on time. What do you reckon?
Yeah, probably. Why not?
Yeah, we'll give it a go. All right.
Possibly.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye. Love you.